My chest tightened. I had been trying not to think of that, of Junius leaving us, though I knew he would once Papa was gone. My father's protege was a restless man, always looking for something better, his gaze settled ahead, as if the world around him didn't exist. There was nothing to bind him to this place once Papa was gone. When June goes, I'll still have Lord Tom. He'll stay with me. You know he will. There's nothing for you to worry about.
No, he said. June, you marry.
Marry Junius? He coughed. It went deep. He hacked and shuddered, and I put my arm around his shoulders to keep him from choking on his own blood, grabbing a nearby handkerchief, trying not to see the clots, the darkness of the blood, the proof that his lungs were no longer whole enough to keep him here. The attack went on long enough that I thought it must exhaust him. He closed his eyes and I leveled him gently back to the pillow. I wiped the blood from his lips and expected him to drift into unconsciousness, but he didn't. His hand fell to his chest, searching for a talisman that was no longer there, a pendant he'd lost long ago, though the nervous habit of touching it had never left him.
Marry June.
Insistent this time, even through his weakness. You can't mean it. He's old, Papa. Why, he must be at least 40.
Good man.
I know that. And I did. But a husband? I'm not ready. How can I be a wife? I have so much to do.
Marry him.
He attempted a smile.
Keep you safe.
He won't want to, Papa. He has his own life.
He says yes.
I stared at my father with surprise, and yes, a little resentment. You asked him? Papa nodded.
Promise me.
He was dying. What right had I to question him? He'd never hesitated to do what was best for me. He'd been the only parent I'd ever known, becoming both mother and father from the moment my mother died birthing me. He had sacrificed everything for me. He had taught me everything I knew. And what else had I? When Papa was gone, I would be alone. Alone. I'd been fighting the thought for days. Now it rose to overwhelm me. What would I do without him? How would I survive? And in the grip of that fear, I said, "All right."
Promise.
I promise. Again that faint smile, the obvious effort of it tore at my heart. He closed his eyes. I stayed there by the bed. He lingered another hour, and then I felt him go. A gasp, a sinking, there and then, suddenly, not. I put my head on his chest, listening for breathing I knew already I wouldn't hear, and the stillness crept into me, an emptiness I did not know how to fill. I broke into helpless, convulsing sobs, crying into his shirt, wishing for his arms around me, no matter how clumsy and inept the embrace. He had always been uncomfortable with such displays, but I would have given anything to feel once again his awkward, hesitant patting, to hear his, "There, my dear. You know I hate to see you cry." I sat there for a long time, until I felt the warmth leave him, until the blue of twilight eased through the windows, and my father's body was covered in shadow. And then I went to his desk. On the shelf above were his leather-bound journals. On the desk were the relics we'd collected together, the ones that were his favorites, a bone knife from the Dalles, a Chinook horn spoon, a ceremonial rattle, a carved wooden bowl that now held spare buttons and a needle, and a small leather bag of tobacco, so dried out and old now it was mostly dust. I smiled at it, because it had been more than a year since he'd had to give up the pipe he loved, and yet that bag was still here, and I knew he'd been unable to throw it away, although he had to have known he would never smoke it. The contradiction of him, so sentimental, even as ruled as he was by logic and reason. Oh, I would miss him so. I blinked, wiping tears away with the back of my hand, and glanced out the window at the deepening blue-gray sky, the fog rising now from the bay, ghostly and beautiful, the two men walking through it, crossing